Happy video day, guys. And for today's video, what we're going to be doing is talking about spring eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to be showing you guys a few palettes that I have in my collection that maybe you guys own as well that are perfect for spring and also going into summer. And I'm actually wearing my Easter dress. This was the dress that I was going to wear for Easter, and I figured might as well wear it on camera and talk about spring eyeshadows because Easter is going to probably be in sweatpants this year. So I want to talk about stuff that's happy, and I want to talk about eyeshadow palettes that are going to be cool to use for spring. These are some spring fun eyeshadow palettes that I have been really enjoying, and I've been creating a lot of looks jumping into these palettes, so I wanted to share them with you guys. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. If you guys are new, you've never seen me before, I'm Christina Brooke, and I like to talk about makeup and fashion. And if you like those things, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And let's go ahead and let's get into everything spring eyeshadow right now. Like I said, I own all these palettes. These are palettes that I have in my collection, and I encourage you guys to look through your collection and see what you have before you go out and buy anything. Just see what you have. You might have some fun eyeshadow palettes that are super springy. So based off of all the trends that I've been seeing lately and stuff that has been coming out in pastels and looks that I've been seeing online and Instagram and all that goodness, these are the palettes that I pulled, and these are the palettes that I'm really enjoying right now. And when I've been creating a lot of these fun looks for you guys, I've been jumping into a lot of these palettes. So I'm going to share, the first one is this one right here. So this is the mini Tropic from Natasha Denona. I still think you can buy this. I'm not 100% sure, but I know a lot of you guys did buy this, and I really like this. This is super springy. This lilac color pastels are super in. And here at the end, the lilac color here at the end, these two are super on trend with the whole pastel theme that's in right now. And of course you need some buffer shades, and I really like this palette. If you guys can see, it kind of matches my dress right now. So we're going in a whole like little spring direction when you're using this palette. So this one for sure is a top little spring palette for me right now. The next one is one that I've been using a lot in Make Up Your Mind. Like every time that I've been talking about spring palettes, I always have to grab this one, so you know that this one is pretty trendy. So that is this one right here from Huda Beauty. This is the Nude Light palette. This has been so on trend. Like I literally have been grabbing this palette every time that I'm doing like, what palette can I find this palette in? What palette can I find this color in? I'm always jumping in this palette. So you know Huda was thinking spring 2020 when she created this palette, spring summer 2020, may I say. So I do think that a lot of these colors are super spring. You can create some really cute, very pink, very pale looks with this palette, but you also have some lilacs in here that add a little bit of that pastel-y vibe to your looks. And this is a really good palette, and it ended up being a pretty good buy for me because I have noticed that this spring I have been jumping into it a lot. Another palette that I just wanted to throw in here, because if you guys do own this palette, and I've looked for it on Sephora, and I don't know if Huda's not selling this one anymore or if this was limited edition, let me know. But this is the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsession. And this palette right here has some amazing tones for that emeraldy kind of mint tone that you might want to use if you're doing like a little bit of a more pastel eye. Now when you do pastel eyes, you don't need to use 5 million colors. You can just use one wash of color, and that sometimes can look even better. That can look even better sometimes with this whole pastel trend, just putting one color on the lid. I'll show you guys in another look that I'll do in the future doing that, because it does look really nice. So this is a palette that you guys can get some of those mint colors in, and it's really, it's a great palette. I love that Huda palette. I don't know if she still sells it. Now this is one that I know I have in my collection that maybe some of you guys bought, and I've talked to you guys about this palette before that I don't know why I bought it. I bought it only because it was like My Little Pony, and I really like My Little Pony, and I was like My Little Pony obsessed when I was little. So I bought it for that reason. I never thought I was gonna have the opportunity to really use it. And this spring, this has been super in. So if you guys have the My Little Pony palette from Colourpop, I have been jumping into this. It has like those perfect tones that are in right now. You know, we're seeing a lot of like this dusty rose kind of color that looks pastel. The lilac, you have a little bit of that green in here. You also have a little orange. This is a very trendy style palette that's going on right now. Like these are the tones that you're seeing in a lot of makeup. You're seeing it also in a lot of in a lot of fashion. So it is a fun little palette that if you guys do have it, you can pull it out and create some fun looks. And like I said, just one wash of color on the lids is all you really need. You don't really need to jump into like 15 colors if you want to do like a fun pastel look that's wearable. So like the next one is this one right here from Natasha Denona. This is a Safari palette, and yeah guys, this is a very, like, it's a little bit more deep toned, but it is very spring. So if you guys want to jump into this palette, you can create less pastel-y looking colors, but you could still create vibrant looking eyes that'll be very on trend, and you'll still have like a little bit more of like that spring upbeat look. You can use just like maybe the oranges and just do a little bit of like an orange eye with a little brown on the accent, and you can create something that looks springy but not throwing in so many colors. So this is for maybe you guys that don't love color too much, and I know you're saying, oh my god, but there's colors there, but you can use some of these colors and doll out a look and still have a very trendy, cute eye look. So the next one is going to be one that I would figure some of you guys would think a fall palette, and primarily it may be, but this is the Natasha Denona Sunrise. Now the reason I want this one in here is because you've got a lot of colors in here that are super springy. If you look at this quadrant right here between this peach color and these topper shades, you can create the prettiest, very pale pink looking eyes with just glistening on top that's so beautiful for spring and for summer. It's like those light looks that don't really require too much effort, but they look gorgeous. You can create those looks with this. You don't have to jump into these deeper shades that creates a little bit more of a fall look. You can jump on this side and you can totally be very springy and not have to like just buy a spring palette, if you know what I'm saying. Another one, guys, that's on sale now, that if you guys don't have this one, I recommend it. I really love it. It's the Carli Bybel ABH palette. I think Sephora has it like 50% off right now, which is a great buy. If it is, I will link it down below. This palette right here has almost all you need for spring of 2020. I think ABH and Carli Bybel, I don't know if they thought 2020 when they created this of spring, but they really were on trend for 2020. All of these colors right here are within that very light dyed down colorations that are very in right now, and I really love this palette. Like I've told you guys, this color right here is a pigment, the only one in this palette that's a pigment. I can't use pigments, they irritate my eyes, so I don't use this color, but I do have this color in a lot of other palettes, so it doesn't bother me. The rest of the palette I could use all the time. You can create very lively looks that are not like super in your face of color, but still have that little spring summer touch to them that is gorgeous. Another palette is Soft Glam from ABH, guys. This palette right here is, I think this is like my universal palette. You can use this throughout the entire year. I feel like right on this quadrant right here, you've got spring, and up here you've got fall, and the spring looks that you could create down here are just gorgeous. I love creating looks just using some of these colors down here, adding a little deepening shade to the outer edge, but still giving that nice springy, light-eyed, light and airy look. So a lot of these palettes, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for light, airy looks, because that's going to be like the type of look that you're going to see transition into also summer. And usually for spring, that's kind of where you're going. And this spring primarily, everything's just very light. They love whites are in, pastels are in, soft colorations are in, floral is, it's a very girly kind of spring. So then this Rustic Glam right here from Dominique Cosmetics, I think that they really knocked it out of the park with spring with this one. Now, they probably weren't thinking spring because I don't remember when this released, but this is a very nice for spring palette. You got so many colors in here that totally go with the whole vibe that's going on right now. And I have jumped into this one multiple times to create eye looks that are very spring inspired, summer inspired, going into this very airy type of season. And I really feel like that palette gives me so many of those colors. Now, like I said, you don't have to jump into all the colors. You can just use one on its own and kind of mix things together and just use it all over the lid and be super on trend. So another palette that you guys might actually have, and you might have bought in this a while back, and it cost you a lot of money. So if you have this palette, you're probably gonna be excited to see it in here, and that's this one from Huda Beauty. This is the new Nude, and yeah, this is a palette that's pretty on trend. I mean, you've got like the pastel-y pinks, you've got those really soft, light airy looking colors in here. You want to throw a little glitter on top of it just to make it look even more pretty. You've got a really nice selection of very nice spring inspired looks here that you can create, and also going into summer. And I feel like this is like one of those staple palettes that every spring you can kind of pull it out. There has been some springs that it's been like all about like the vibrant eyes, but this spring I have just seen so many airy, beautiful, very soft looking lids. And you know, I'm not saying like don't use color, because color is in too. It's just a more pastel-y looking color that I'm seeing like very predominantly used a lot. And I really love this palette, especially for any of you guys that don't want color. Like you don't want anything to do with color, but you still want to have something that's a little bit more trendy, maybe on trend. Colors in here that will translate to a really pretty spring inspired lid. And yeah, you can create a bunch of different looks with this one. So this has definitely been one of those palettes that I purchased for, was it $65? And I have gotten my money's worth out of it, because I do use it, especially now like around this time. This is when I start to like see it being used more often. But yeah, so those are just a few palettes that I wanted to share with you guys that you guys may have inside of your collection already, that just when I looked at them, they just remind me so much of what I've been seeing so much in fashion and on Instagram, and of the colorations that I'm seeing out right now. If you guys saw my trend finder that I did in the beginning of the year, that they were kind of predicting what was going to be in, I do feel like a lot of those colors are coming out. You're starting to really see them, and these palettes have been true to being pretty on style right now. So if you guys have any of these palettes, just pull them out and start using them, because you're going to use them from now until the end of the summer, and hopefully we are able to enjoy a little bit of spring, and if not, we'll be able to pull out some of these palettes for the summer. But you can practice your looks at home with me. Every single Monday I am doing my Monday makeup motivation with you guys, and showing you guys some makeup tips and eye looks that you guys can do with me to give you guys some motivation on a Monday. If you guys just want to learn how to use makeup and maybe play with it for a while, you guys can pull out some of these palettes, because they are going to be used primarily in some of those videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below, which are your spring go-to palettes right now? What are you going for, especially that you feel like super in right now? I want to know which ones they are down below, because some people might actually own your palettes and not own mine. So let's all give each other some ideas down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for anybody who is celebrating Easter, I hope you guys have an amazing Easter. And yeah, I'm wearing my Easter dress right now. So the virtual Easter for me, most likely we'll be doing something on Zoom with the whole family, just to kind of just all see each other, and you know, maybe the Easter bunny will show up or something. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.